Good morning. And I say good morning because it's 8:11 a.m. here, and I'm recording today early instead of 1 o'clock because I'm going to be out doing errands and such. So, had a wonderful flat tire over the weekend, and to take that in to get the donut repaired because the donut went flat, and make sure that the original tire is still good. So, fun things on the plate today. So I'm going to do some coloring, and I'm coloring, again, we're still all working in Clip Studio, and I want to show you what that process is like. Now, one of the things that's really awesome about Clip Studio is that you don't have to hire a flatter anymore, because it's really easy. So I've got the bad guy layer here, and I'm going to focus on getting these guys done so that I can duplicate them into the boxes down here because they're just dialogue, conversational dialogue, so I'm using the same drawing to save some time. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the little lighthouse and make this a reference layer. And right underneath it, I'm going to create a new layer. And just to be organizational, I'm going to put both of these in a folder. And call that one bad guys as well. So now, woo, starting to sound a little bit like Zach in his videos. It's just because of the morning. I got a bunch of interstitial lung disease all gunked up in my lungs, and from laying down, it resettles. I'm not getting sick or anything. Sicker. So now I've got this nice organized folder with, I can put plenty of layers in there to do the color. Now you'll notice I have the lighthouse here. Hopefully you can see that. It's just above my little, let me pop this up this way. Alright. So the bad guy layer here, this is the inked line art, and I'm going to do the color here. And the bad guy is set to a reference layer. So now all I can do is hit the fill bucket and start doing my flats. Now, a more organizational way that I do this is that when I'm inking, I will sometimes do an inking layer that's all shapes, just so it doesn't get conglomerated around little details like the freckles and little cross hatchings and things. But I didn't do that with these particular parts. So this guy here is a Mavian, and I still haven't decided on names for these two characters yet. I'm still thinking of that. But he's the one doing the driving. Mavians have lavender skin, mauve. Their entire society is very purple. My buddy Josh would appreciate that. And I'm just going to go through and click on some fills here and get them put together. We'll just do a standard color background for now. And I need to refresh my memory of if I colored the seats already or not in a preview in the original strip. So my weekend was pretty jam-packed. There was a lot of stuff going on. And I didn't get a live show done, which I apologize for. I really wanted to, but with everything that was going on, there was just never any time to do it. I did work, though. I got my handout card art finalized. So we got side 1 here. And the continuation of the story here, side 2. Move opposite stage. So this will be a rat card, handing out at shows. That's awesome. I did some character development and design too, and some layouts. So here is the here's a character that I've been working on. This is a bounty hunter character, and he'll be sent out later on to hunt down Dinosaur Man and crew. So this is some concept work for that one. And I did layouts for episode 3. So we'll start to see what happens later on. So these are just roughs, and I'll fill in a little more detail later. As you can see, he wakes up and gets angry. Okay. "26 subscribers to the comic so far, 190 views. Hopefully that will increase as I start posting regular updates." Alright, so it's kind of a pale green. Alright, that's what I thought it was, but I want to be as consistent as possible. Yeah, he's got his 80s shades going on there. And we'll do. I actually was using Manga Studio for a good solid year before I learned this little feature here. Just never got around to sitting down and playing with the program, and the tutorials that are out there aren't all that good. So hopefully this little live show can provide some of what's missing there. Make sure my chat window's up. 2 people watching, so hello, hello. Alright, this guy here, I forgot to draw his ears. Oops. Well, just kind of. Okay, that's pretty good. Again, I apologize for the morning coughing. Some people have coffee, I have coughing. All right. All right, so we'll do this guy who has blue skin. Give him yellow teeth. These guys are a team, so they'll have coordinated outfits. Give him some blonde hair. Use that same blue in the goggles. Good morning, Varian. Guten Tag. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, looks good. More earthy. I think I'll change this out since I used that blue for his skin. Alright, so now comes the fun part of doing all the decorations. So I'm going to create a new layer on top of that. I need my controls back. Don't need any of that. Alright. So light coming in, probably from behind them because they're driving in a valley. So this will be the shadow side over here. This will be where the lights are. So my new layer, I'm going to make it a multiply layer. Go with a neutral gray. We'll see how that looks. And then just come in and start cutting in some shadow area. I can always go in and fix minor flaws. So I'm basically looking for the harder, coarser shadow here. So I am again just kind of going in and doing all of the harsher edge shadows. This neutral gray. Cats are arguing out in the hall. That's fun. Now, make this a little easier on myself, I'm going to grab the Magic Wand tool and grab all of the hair strands here. That way I can go back in and kind of be a little more reckless with my strokes, make it more natural looking. Man, that does not make good for good TV. And right now I'm using transparency and an airbrush and lightening all that up a little bit. There's also the blending tools, which are really good in this program. If you notice in my art, I don't do a lot of shading and cross-hatching and the inking the stage. I'm not really good at that. I don't really care for it. I mean, I love when people can do it well. I just don't think I'm one of those people, and I really kind of prefer the clean lines and then let the color do the talking as far as where the shadows are and whatnot. So I can go just clean up a little bit here. Alright, so do a little bit on his chin here and teeth. Alright, now we're going to look at doing a screen layer and getting the highlight and shadow of what's going on around him. And not necessarily that color either. I think what I'm going to do is focus on the hair. It looks good. And then I'm going to sample the original undercolor and do the light off of that. That's a bit loud. And we can always come in with the airbrush and lighten things up too. The atmosphere on Tamalon is pinkish and bluish. So I'm going to come in and do a glow dodge layer. I'm just going to put in some hot spots. That's a little more interesting. And blend the stronger ones out. But the blend has a finger paint and then a color blend, and I really like the color blend a lot. The finger paint I will use sparingly, just because it's basically just pulling and stretching. So I'm going to clean that layer up. And while I've got it selected, I need to go into my screen layer and add in the color and the clouds and kind of faux in a background too. So yeah, I'm going to do that right now. We got that coming in, and then I'm going to do a new layer, deselect, and then do the Red Mountain fills. So there's like red mountains back there. Go in and do a little bit of surgery on this. Not sure I'm liking that. Oops, that was on the wrong layer. Maybe we need to go with something a little different. That's a little better. Okay. Now I can go in and clean up some of these other areas as well. Starting to look kind of cool. And then we're going to finish it off with inverting the selection, coming over here and doing a new layer, and then we're going to cool things down because, like I said, they're passing through that shadow. So I want to cool things down a little bit. See if that helped out any. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, he's done. Now this guy is facing the rock wall as they're driving. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to leave this background, and then once I get this part done, I'm going to copy and paste some of that and put that in the background and blur it out. Maybe do a motion blur so it's sweeping back that way. So I really only need to focus on him. Now he's backlit, or not backlit, he's back shadowed. So for him the shadows are going to be all the way around. So I'll go back to that neutral gray, and I'm going to do an outlining shadow. And then start using the shadow to contour things. This area is raised up for his nose. So there's a deeper shadow under there. His whole mouth, basically. And any other shaping details that I need to do. His brow would be coming in there. Shape his lip. And go ahead and start it smoothing some of those. Alright, we'll go in and playing around, kind of give cool him off a little bit. Whoops. Okay, we'll go to screen. Start bringing these in. They're not going to be quite as bright because, like I said, he's more in shadow than his partner is. Hello. We have a visitor. My daughter's cat, Louise. Look at that paw. She has 7 toes. Polydactyl. You're on TV. Okay. Sorry, I'm lumpy. Oh, sorry. Kind of dropped her. No, don't play with that. Kitty cats. Maybe when this guy talks, he spits. So we'll do like some saliva. Put a little sheen on his teeth. can do some bouncing light too. Nice rim lighting like this, where you add the highlight around it, really helps make things pop. And doesn't need to be harsh either. So I'll soften that up with the blender here. Mix it in. Coolness. Maybe I can fake that out. Let me get close to wrapping up anyway. Color. So for this, I'm going to do it all on a new layer. And then do some of these like choppiness blocks. And I'm going to blend some of these. That. Okay. Now it needs some shadow. So I will pick a darker tone. Gonna put that in there a little bit. Blend that out. Some areas. And there's our rock wall behind him. Now I need to blur that. Direction. So that's kind of it. Try that. I'm going to bring down the opacity a little bit. And then I'll use the fingertip to help it along. That might have been better, actually. What if I were to just do that instead? Yeah. I don't hate it. Put all these mistake areas back. Help it along a little bit. Kind of got that sense of speed. Rid of the marching ants. There's a lot of experimentation, if you haven't noticed, that goes into this. I think that'll work. And then I'm going to fingertip some of this in. Just clean up the edge. Okay, now let's have some fun. He's talking to this guy, so I'm going to grab some of him. That's right, I don't think this program has that feature, so we're going to cheat it. I'm going to use the Windows snipping tool and snip that out, copy it, come back into my program, and let's see. That's right, it doesn't have that either. So, a couple things that I would like Clip Studio to add in the future. To please add copy merged and paste into the options for this program. That would be wonderful. Alright, so he's getting the reverse. So we're going to flip it, distort it a little bit. I mean, this is really just play here. And then we'll duplicate that layer. Move the duplicate there. I'm going to merge these two together. Oh, I've only got eyes for you, whatever your name is. And we'll lighten that and do some strike through. Soften it a little bit. And do a Gaussian blur. So we get a hint of what's going on there. Then I'll go in and do a white highlight. One of the things that you'll notice in this program is that if you do trap colors, I got these little pixels here I'm cleaning up. Doing the shape method I mentioned earlier, where you just do all your basic shapes and do your fills there, and then keep your details separate, that'll help prevent this close-up stuff from happening. Alright, so that's the episode for today. Please check out the Facebook group if you're interested in doing the 100-day challenge. I missed my blog for the last 2 days, but I did work, so I did make note of that on the Facebook group. And it's a good way if you're doing a comic to really kind of keep your nose to the grindstone, and there's a good group of people there who will comment and encourage you and keep things moving. I do one last little kind of touch up on this. Please go to Webtoons and like the Dinosaur Man comic if you haven't already. Spread it around. Yeah, that's good. Spread that around, Webtoons, and search for Dinosaur Man. Subscribe, please. Leave a comment. That'd be wonderful. And I will see you all tomorrow for the next episode of the 100-Day Challenge. So I missed 4 and 5. So this is 4, 5, and 6, kind of in one episode. And all right, see you Tuesday, back at 1 o'clock p.m.